Hi everyone, and welcome to the table for a quick story and unboxing. Before we get started, if you're a fan of rare, vintage, nostalgic art like me, or want to know which cards might be underappreciated at the moment in the market, hit the subscribe button and boom, you made, if you know what I mean. I've got a lot more things like this either tucked away or on the way, so I suggest you do that for your own good. Now, today we're going to be doing a video about potentially the most undervalued card in the market. I don't understand how this card is so cheap, and you won't either once you hear what this card offers for less than $30 USD. Near mint, that is, at the moment. We're going to be unboxing 10 of them that I recently picked up, and I'll be giving you the chronological list of first releases of this card for both the Japanese OCG and North American TCG versions, while also showing you what those looked like. Here we go. See if you can guess what this card is based off of these statements. Released in 2003 as its first edition in North America, and this wasn't some fake reprint first edition. This was the first time this card was made for the TCG, first time printed in English, etc. It's holographic, was a central monster in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime show, pop 38 total in PSA, defeater of Blue Eyes, Exodia, and the God cards in the anime show. Any guesses? We're talking about Dark Master Zorc, also known as Great Evil God, Zorc Necrophates. Let's go ahead and see what some of these cards look like from different sellers across TCGPlayer and eBay, and let's figure out who was honest about their cards being near mint, why don't we? Let's get started. All right, first up from TCGPlayer, YGO Black Market 3. First editions should be in here. And they're really good. Okay, here we go. First edition DCR-082. All right, guys. So I went ahead and took these out, dusted them off just a little bit with a light little eyeglass cloth. But man, I'm pretty disappointed in this company listing these as near mint. And I'm going to show you why here. So the front of this one looks okay. There's a very light scratch here that I can let slide. That's not a big deal. But whenever we look at the back of this one, it's clearly seen some rubbing. You see that? It's got light scratching all over the card as well as rubbing. Let me turn on another light here so you can see what I'm talking about. All right. Can you see that? See what I'm talking about? Not sure I would have listed that as near mint. I don't know. That rubs me the wrong way. Okay, we have this one next. It's got... So I'm going to just brush this off. So this one, this is totally unacceptable. Listing a card as near mint and then having a bent corner like that, that's not near mint. You can't have a bent corner and scratches on a near mint card. And if you see down here, there's a couple little specks of stuff, whatever. That's not a big deal. I'll let that go. But then I look at the back and there's obviously been rubbing on the back of this card all up and down it, as well as there's light scratching that I'm not sure if that's going to pick up on camera, but that's unacceptable to me if you list something as near mint. As well as there being this mark on the front. So you see this right here, right there, that should not be there. And that's not something that would just brush off. So I think that's kind of scratched into the card as well. Next up, this one. Front of this one I think actually looked really nice. No complaints there. I'm very happy with that. But then on the back, again, rubbing and light scratching on the back of this one. So you see that? Let's see if I can bring it up here for you. That dotting is just cards typically rubbing against each other in a storage box without sleeves on them. And then there's also light scratching on the card as well. And I hope you can pick up that light scratching on camera. So I'm not super happy with that. I don't know if I want to try to return these or what, but I'll go ahead and sleeve them up for now and at least protect them better than they protected them sending them to me when they stuck them in a single sleeve. All right, next up here, we've got Colby's Card Shop, TCGPlayer. Okay, a couple light scratches on the front there, and also a dent here on the side. You see that? It's in the back. Wow. Okay, a lot of light scratching on the back. You see that? I hope the camera can pick up the scratching because it is. There we go. Maybe that light will help there. It is fairly significant. You see that? A lot of light scratching going all different directions. That's unfortunate. You tell me, guys. I mean, is this what you call near mint? Also, a lot of whitening on this edge on this card. You see all that whitening. I don't know, guys. It's not something I would list as near mint. I just think that's not very fair. This is a first ed Zorc from eBay. I guess I didn't have the seller to put on here. All right, hopefully a better seller than those last two. Front, pretty good. Looks like we got a little bit of dirt on there. No complaints on that though. That's fine. I should be able to wipe that off. And the back, a lot of rubbing and light scratching. Again, you know, what can you do, I guess? Again, you know, if I was a seller, I wouldn't be calling this near mint personally. We've got TCG Webb's Pokestop. One that should be in here. Okay, Webb's Pokestop. Let's see if you're a better seller. Front, a little bit dirty, couple little specks there. No big deal. Back, some light wear on the back, but this is fair. Like, I would call this near mint. It's not near as bad as the others. I'll give this a little wipe down, see if it cleans up a little bit. All right, guys, so on this card, there ended up being one small issue. I'm happy with the front, very happy with the front. Webb's Pokestop, somewhat fairly listed in this card. But there's this dot here that would not just wipe off. You see that white dot? I think that's where the ink has been scratched off there, which, you know, stinks. It's in an unfortunate place. But overall, I would still call this near mint. I think Webb's Pokestop, that's a fair listing. There's not nearly as many scratches on the back of this card. And this is one I would want to keep for the collection. So Webb's Pokestop gets a pass from me. Next up, we've got Cards and Board Games. Okay, everybody. And it looks like I got a couple in here from Cards and Board Games. First up, looking good on the front, a little dirty. That's okay. On the back, light scratches and card-to-card wear again. You can see that kind of all over the card. Give you a few different lighting options here. I'll scoot this over for you. You see that? Not what you want to see, but, you know, better than some of the others that we've opened up here. And the second one here, front, I think that would be fair to call that near mint. One corner looks like it has a little bit of an issue, but, you know, nothing terrible. And on the back, a little bit of card-to-card wear, less maybe than the other one. About the same, actually. A couple light scratches. Again, you know, I would maybe list this as excellent. I don't know if I would call this near mint with the amount, because, I mean, the card-to-card wear is going from up top here all the way down here to the bottom. All right, guys, overall, I think I am going to keep the Cards and Board Game ones. They were in better condition than some of those other ones we opened up at first, and the backs had less wear, even though they still did have wear and light scratching. So I'm okay with that, though. These fronts look immaculate. eBay seller, JRB Collectibles 530. Very interesting. Look at that card saver. How weird is that? It's not a parallel card. All right, and this one, pretty good on the front. A little dusty, but they all have been, really. And on the back, oh man, again, light scratching and card wear. You know, I guess, does everybody define near mint as scratching and cardware? I don't know what I want to do with this. Yeah, I don't know, guys. You tell me what you would do. eBay. Crazy 4 Yun Fat. Oh, that's nice of them. Good vibes. Thank you. Ah, there we go. Front. Actually quite nice. No complaints. Back. Light scratching and card-to-card rub as well. Lighter, I would say not as heavy as some of the other cards. This one I would probably keep. Maybe just a little bit of whitening on that top edge. You see that? Maybe just a little bit. Very, very light. All right, so I think that's one I'm actually going to hold on to there. Not as heavy on the back as some of those first ones we opened in terms of damage. And lastly, we've got one from eBay, JG Chobin 1. And this one, I have a feeling isn't going to have scratches on the back of it. Oh, look at that. It's graded. This is a BGS 85, near mint to mint. Beautiful card, and I paid, I want to say like $35 for this graded, which is insane for a first edition. Thick case. This is actually my first Beckett graded card. Everything else is PSA, so that's pretty cool there. So, what are the other first edition Zorc cards, or first cards, I should say? Well, Bandai, which is the company that made Yu-Gi-Oh cards a few months before Konami started in 1998, never made an actual Zorc card. Konami was the first company to release one on July 23rd, 1998, when it was potentially included in the first Yu-Gi-Oh PlayStation game, Monster Capsule Breed and Battle. 3 random cards were included in each game out of a total set of 10. Zorc was one of those and featured artwork that would never be seen again for him. The next release would be 4 years and 7 months later, on February 20th, 2003. The Japanese OCG released Zorc in the Threat of the Dark Demon World booster on as both an ultra rare and ultra parallel rare. Again, now we're talking about this card again. On December 1st, 2003, so a few months later, the North America TCG saw these release in Dark Crisis, marked by the first edition, indicated by DCR 082. On September 23rd, 2004, so moving ahead a little bit, the OCG released a super rare version in Expert Edition Volume 1. And moving forward even more, on March 19th, 2005, the North American TCG released Zorc, same art and everything, once again, in Dark Revelations Volume 1. Well, everyone, I hope you learned something, and remember to subscribe for more undervalued cards and Yu-Gi-Oh history. Take care.